Happy Thursday, elementary team. Courtney here. Just want to go over your curriculum for this week, Sunday, December 14th, and just give you a quick overview. So this week we are in week 2 of our Follow the Star unit. And our big idea is God gives hope to guide us. And we're still kind of following that road trip theme. So we're talking in our introduction about maps and keeping our eyes on the night sky. And we're talking this week specifically about the night of Jesus's birth and how it was no ordinary night, and that God sent his son into the world to bring us light and hope, and that hope can guide us. And no matter what we face, we can trust that God will give us hope to continue to guide us. And I know you guys have been working on the spiritual habits. So we're just going to continue to build that foundation with them and tie it back into the theme. So the 4 spiritual habits that we're talking about are spending time with God, spending time with others, using our gifts, and sharing your story. So we're going to just tie that back into how using these spiritual habits can help us stay focused on the true light of the world and keep us following after him long after that star fades. And then you're going to do your ping pong ball tracking. So make sure you're giving out those ping pong balls and your gifts for the first, second, and third time guests. And then offering time as well. And this week's game is really fun, and it can be as chill or as chaotic as you kind of want to make it. So it's kind of like hot and cold, where you would have somebody kind of following directions to get to an object or a certain place. But instead of saying hotter, colder, warmer, colder, you're going to say proceed or rerouting or recalculating like you are a GPS. So you're going to have a volunteer student or free. You have 3 little mini Jesus figures in your room. So you're going to hide those instead of the like Christmas themed items. So you can hide 1, 2, or 3 and have a kid for each item, or however you want to do this. So up to 3 kid volunteers are going to close their eyes while somebody hides the little mini Jesus in your rooms. And then when you are ready, you're going to have those kids walk around the space trying to locate the hidden figures. And you can, as the adult, give them the directions. If it's one-on-one, you can have a couple of other adults help you, or you could have the kids pair up with other kids, or you could even have, if you want to have a crazy chaotic moment, you can have small groups or even age groups telling one particular kid to go that way or to go this way, and say proceed if they're going the right direction, and if they're going the wrong way, rerouting. And then when they reach their exact location and they're supposed to like look around for their item, they have to shout, "You've reached your destination," just like a GPS. And then you can do it a couple of times with a different volunteer if you just do one at a time, however you want to do it. So have fun and kind of read the room and see if your kids can handle it being a little more silly, go for it. But then just tie it back into how on a road trip the GPS will reroute you if you get off on the wrong exit or if you make a bad turn. And God sent his son Jesus to guide us and bring us back to reroute us toward God when we maybe make a wrong turn. Then you guys will move into worship and you're singing Gloria and 1000 Names. And as far as I can tell, there's not a prayer or altar moment. If you have one, let me know so I can make a change for next week if I see it come up again that way. And then after worship, we're going to go into the question portion. And please make sure you read over this part of the script specifically before you get there on Sunday, because we want to make sure we're engaging with the kids, and this doesn't say word for word exactly what you need to talk to the kids about here. So your question for them is just, what do you look forward to after a bad day? You don't have to ask every single part of these questions, but just have a conversation with them about what does a bad day look like And how do you find a way to get through those? What do you look forward to? Um, we can focus on all that's gone wrong and how awful our day was, but that usually doesn't help very much. And at the end, we can even just think of one thing, something that gives us hope, something to look forward to at the end of a bad day. And that gives us hope to keep moving on. And then you will move into your teaching video for the Bible story. And after the video, you have your big idea recap portion. And it talks about using the compass. So you should have the graphic and the compass, and it sounds like you're hiding a piece of the graphic in the room and then using the compass to point toward the west, and that's where you should find it. And then again, tie that back into our big idea of the compass can guide us to the big idea, but God gives hope to guide us, and God gave us Jesus as our hope to guide us. And then for the reflection portion, this time is not a scripture or a testimony. It's again another type of conversation where you will be talking to the kids, and it's called windshield messages. And you can talk about, have you ever seen a car or maybe a truck parked in a parking lot or on the side of the road that has something written with somebody's finger that says things like wash me? And they talk about if there was no frost, but obviously in Florida, we don't have a lot of kids that are familiar with the frost. So we talk about the dust. So if there wasn't any dust on the windows, the message wouldn't show up. And we can think about that dust as the hardships that we go through. And we can tie that back into Mary's story because she walked a really long, difficult path. And she had a lot of hard things to walk through, but she trusted God and He gave her hope. And it can be frustrating when God is doing something in our lives that we don't really understand and we can't see the whole big picture. But if we walk through that dusty path, we can trust that God is with us and He doesn't leave us without help, and He will give us hope to guide us. And then your memory verse is John 8:12b. And my pre-K kids are doing this too, and they have the beginning. They say, I am the light of the world. And then if you want to include that with your kids, awesome. If not, totally fine. The rest of your memory verse is, whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. So just repeat that a couple times with your kiddos and then pray them out into their small groups. And that is it, all that I have for you for this week. If you have any questions or need anything, just let me know. Thank you guys. Have a great week.